This is Plitvice Lakes, a national park which is easily one of the most breathtaking natural places in Europe, and honestly, it lives up to the hype. Located in central Croatia, it's made up of 16 interconnected lakes that flow into each other through a series of waterfalls, small streams, and turquoise pools that look like they've been filled in real life. The park is divided into the upper lakes, the lower lakes, and you can explore both through a mix of hiking trails, wooden boardwalks, or even scenic routes through the boats that can take you really close into the water. See, we traveled here all the way in 2019, and it is still one of our favorite places to travel to. It's been a UNESCO World Heritage Site since the late 70s, and thankfully it's really well protected. Swimming isn't allowed, which helps preserve the ecosystem, and the paths are designed to keep visitors from damaging the fragile environments. Despite all the people who visit, it never feels chaotic, and especially if you go in the early morning or off-season, there's a few small cafes near the entrance. But once you're inside the park, it's just you and the trails, the sound of the waterfalls in every direction, and the unbelievably crystal clear blue waters. One of the biggest highlights is the Veliki Slap, or the Great Waterfall, which stands at 78 meters and roars down into a rocky basin. It's the tallest waterfall in Croatia, and the sound of it crashing is sometimes something you feel in your chest before you even reach it. And honestly, the beauty isn't even just in the big dramatic spots. It's in the peaceful trickles, the moss-covered stones, and those quiet little corners where it feels like time slows down. Whether you're doing a half-day visit or spending a full day hiking the long loops, the whole park feels like stepping into a nature documentary. The day we went was a bit rainy, which worked in our favor because it wasn't super crowded, so we got the waterfalls all to ourselves. And the water was a unique kind of blue that they explained that only happens when it's very rainy, so we got a pretty unique experience of it. But unfortunately, you will have to watch out because you might lose access to some of the trails if you go on a day that is raining like we did.
Okay, so earlier today we stopped by in a really cute city and we saw this cat, and I loved the cat so much. And as we go to start petting the cat,
I look like a frog. Ribbit.
Ribbit.
Why'd we say that?
Ribbit.
Okay.
So then we see this cat and we start approaching it, and I was like already petting it before, as you've seen from the last videos. And then a woman comes next to us. Meow! Meow! Yeah, like we were having our moment with the
We
cat.
just thought like, hi there, kitty. And she's like, meow. Oh,
And that's it. She
yelling
just
meow.
meows at it twice.
And then
walks
jabs it in the
away.
throat like 4 times. She's like, Wow, we were such pros just at 19 years old. Anyways, the place that she's talking about is Rastoke, which is a small village in central Croatia that feels like it's been pulled straight out of a storybook. It's often called Little Plitvic, and for good reason, as it sits at the meeting point of Slanjunka and Korana rivers, which forgive me if I mispronounce. The whole town is built around the waterfalls. Literally, you've got wooden mills, cottages, footbridges tucked between rushing waters and moss-covered rocks. It's peaceful, scenic, and it has this slow magic energy that it hits you once you arrive. A lot of people just pass through on their way to the lakes, but honestly, it's worth taking your time here. You can walk through the village, grab a coffee next to the waterfall, or have a lunch on one of the local spots looking over the river. And sometimes you might even see some locals that are doing some fun and kind of mesmerizing activities. I'm not even kidding, we kind of just sat here with the locals watching him do his line work for a while, and it was very entertaining. And I think this leads me back to my bigger point as to why you guys need to visit these lakes, is because it gives you one of the real feelings of how it's like to live as a local and see some more actual life in Croatia as opposed to in some of these touristy cities, which, let's face it, develop a culture that ends up being very money hungry and doesn't really give you a true feel for how simple life can be in these countrysides sometimes. So with that, I'll leave you. I hope you guys get the chance to visit these lakes and visit this beautiful town in Croatia. If you get the chance, please leave a like, subscribe so we can keep showing you these awesome places, and let us know what you think about the shorter videos. Till next time, keep wandering, friends.